Okay, yesterday me and my brother were out here fishing at South Fort, and we got out of the river and I realized there was these huge tracks that were really far apart and next to each other, and it's just really odd. Let's see, there's one right there, and then one right there, and they just go right in front of each other. It snowed a little bit, so it kind of covered them up, but
let me show you the track.
If I walk next to them, you can see whatever it was came through here and has walked along inside here, chasing like an animal or something. And there's no reason that anybody would be in there. You can see them right there, 1 foot in front of the other, not human-like like we would walk, but just really far apart, going all around in there. Let's see. Losing that sunlight.
Check this out. Look at this. Here is the footprint, okay? Here's the footprint. How does it end up over there?
Exactly. Right there. And the next step was right here. So something stepped from there.
Like it stood.
And then jumped over this fence, which I would not do, and landed right here. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. I can't even get over it standing in front of it.
Look at me right now. Look. I'm sorry, but I like my junk.
Jump it. So we're just saying, we don't know. Alright. You can see they space out really far apart. Look at the size of these tracks. Hold on. There's that one right there. Then right there, huge gaps between. I couldn't even step that. Yeah. We just found these steps. They've been snowed over a little bit, but
try and walk it?
As you can see, oh my God!
Let me try and walk that. Record this and see how far.
Try to step it. Oh.
Impossible.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Here. 1 foot here. God, I can't even get to it. Oh my gosh. Wow.
There's no way.
We found these other steps here.
On the other side of the river.
On the other side of the river. We're trying to follow them, but there's this one.
Let me compare the size though.
There's that one, and there's a huge gap to another one.
Here's me.
He can't even step that.
There's me. I can't even extend that far.
Here, let me measure that. Here, take the.
Unbelievable.
Measure from that step to that step. Holy crap.
Well, if I measured from center to center, it's 5 feet gap.
A 5 foot gap?
5 foot gap.
Dang, and they keep going, huh?
I'm standing right now.
Is there footprints in there?
I'm standing right now at a...
And there's another one.
4 foot gap, and that's stretching.
Look at the gap between there.
So
that's
let's see.
Unbelievable step.
Before I walk over there.
There's animal tracks there. That's a step.
5 feet.
A 5 foot step. And then there it is again. It's going through this tree. Holy crap.
Last night, tell them about the noise we heard last night.
And last night we heard owl noises.
After we told.
Now we're just following these. You can see the deer tracks. Now if we turn around, you can obviously see where we've been walking. So we've never been in here. Look at that. There's a step right there.
Wow.
And a huge step right there. You can almost see the toe prints, Zach. Look. Look in there. Look.
Oh, yeah.
Get off the tree.
No, don't. Look at that.
Holy crap. Look. Stepped right there. They stepped clear over that tree and took their next step right there. Measure that gap. Measure it.
Dude. No.
Measure that. Holy.
What? That's 6 feet. No, that's 5.5.
5.5 foot. I couldn't even jump that far.
From here to there?
As you can see, we're in the middle of the woods, but There's nobody that would be over here.
That's almost 5 feet again.
Every step is about 5 feet. Holy crap. That's where.
Look at that.
There's 2 feet right there. 2. That's weird. And then it goes back.
I'm sorry, but no
to
human.
1. Oh, look. So we got 2 feet. And then it comes over here. Huge 5-foot gap again. Another one. Another one. Wow. Whoa. Let's see. Unbelievable.
Look. Look at that. Look. There. There's no kick between.
Look at the gaps.
There's no kick between.
Who steps like that? I'm scared. I ain't gonna lie. And then right here, they stepped over this entire tree.
That's broken. Look, broken.
Broken trees.
Broken up.
And as you can see, the steps go clear over there.
What?
I'm gonna step over this myself. Wow. Holy crap, look at that. Who would even come through here? Look. This is South Fort, Utah. Up by the river. We just discovered these tracks yesterday, so we have no idea where they're going. But they're one step in front of the other. There's not like human. One here.
Well, you would kick.
One there.
A human would kick.
Look at that. There's no snow kicked up, just from when he pulls his foot out.
If there was any animal, an animal would make multiple tracks.
Look at that.
Sorry.
Look at that. Holy crap, dude. Unbelievable. Look over there. Come on. I'm scared too. Holy crap. I'm trying to look for toe marks in these prints. Okay, look. One here. Then you got this tree, and the next one is right there. Who could jump? Look, you can kind of see the toe prints. Holy crap.
Look at that sideways.
Look, holy crap. Look, how far is that? Measure that step.
It's 5 feet again.
A 5-foot gap. I'm scared. I want to get out of here.
They're all 5 feet. Look at that. They're consistent. 5 feet.
5 feet gaps. Look at this. And then they come over here. Whoa.
5 feet again. Dude, I'm sorry, but
there's
no
deer tracks or whatever. You can see our steps. Ours are pretty obvious. We have our waders on. It goes through here.
This is where I heard the owl noise last night when I was trying to call.
Yeah, last night we heard
I was messing around last night, making a little hoo-hoo.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I heard it sound like an owl.
There it is again. There's deer tracks, though.
But there's the deer. There's the solid.
There's the deer tracks. Look at this. One step here. Clear over there. There's another
Solid.
I'm scared to even know where we're going to. There's deer poop. Dude, I'm scared. I want to get out of here, dude.
Look at that. Look at that. I'm sorry, but any human. Look, imagine if your foot was right here, okay? You know how
looks like it came over here and sat down. What is going on?
Look at that gap. What kind of human goes from there
step there,
to there?
Clear over right there.
Both steps. Look. Looks there and there.
It looks like he maybe sat in those trees right there. Kind of sat there and took a chill. And they just keep on going, but I don't want to keep following it.
I do.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm scared. As you can see, we're just kind of in the middle of the woods here. We wanted to come up and film this tonight, though, before it starts to melt. We're gonna get sun for about a week here. I don't know. I was kind of a skeptic about all this stuff, but this has kind of got me wondering.
Okay, so if that poop is on top, that means that's fresh. I'm sorry, I know deer. That's fresh.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the animal tracks. Dude, I don't want to go any further, man. I don't know where they're going.
I don't care. I don't want to find out.
Dude.
I don't care. I need to find out.
Alright.
Look right here. Look at this. Look at this.
Let's see.
That is a heel and a foot. I'm sorry, but there's no shoe in the world shaped like that.
What?
And there's the next trunk.
Hold on. Oh, and it stepped from there
a 4
to
foot
there?
gap, but we're underneath.
Who can step 4 feet when I'm ducking under a tree? This looks to me like it's headed, whatever it was, headed up towards the mountain.
Here's the thing. Look at the deer tracks. Look at these gaps. Look at this gap.
Look at the gap. No humans can step like that.
5 feet again.
5 feet. I'm going to try to step that. I'm going to put my foot here.
There's no way.
And I'm going to stretch it forward like, I can't even get that, even try.
Okay, now I'm kind of scared. Huh?
Okay, then it goes from here.
Hold on, put it down.
And look at this, one step in front of another. Look, just, there they go. One step there. Holy crap.
Look, you can see it again.
Wow.
I don't know, dude.
Unbelievable.
Look right here, look. It's slanted down because there's a hill here.
Yeah, yeah.
Look, look. Feet would slide in that, wouldn't they?
Yeah. And here's a big chunk where it hit the tree.
Oh my God. That was me.
Dude, don't crack trees. They just go that way. We ain't gonna keep going.
No, we are.
No, dude. Really?
Come on.
Dude.
I'm curious. I want to see where these go. Come on, look at that.
I don't care where they go.
Yeah. No, we have light. Look, come on. Let's go. We have enough light. Let's go a little faster. Come on.
Okay, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. There's a print.
Look at that.
It looks like he slid his hand or his foot or something.
No, look.
And then look.
Look at that.
So you're talking, he stepped there, came over this tree, slid. Those almost look like toe marks or something.
No, that's a skid mark from a hill. Look.
And then look.
5 feet again.
Watch out, you're in the middle. Oh, look at the step mark.
There's a branch. Look at this. Look, you can tell by looking at the snow as a human.
Look at that. Look
there's
at that.
a branch.
Look at that. Right there he stepped.
I guarantee
and then does
you.
he step again for 5 feet?
5 feet again. 5 feet again. Dude.
Wow.
I don't know, man.
Without the snow, we would never see this.
This is exactly where I heard that owl noise last night.
Okay, okay.
I got the chill, man.
Where are they going? Where are they going?
I have no idea. 4 feet.
I'm ready to go. People, this is no joke.
Over here, look.
Okay, let's go.
Look at this. 4 feet again. It's over a little over 4 feet.
One step in front of the other.
Hair. Why is there hair everywhere?
Oh my God.
What the hell?
Okay, I don't know if you guys can see this, but there's hair everywhere.
Dude, I don't know about this hair.
Take some of it.
They say if you touch it, it's not good.
Whatever. Look at that. Whatever it was sat right there.
What the hell?
Look at this.
There's shit right there. Sorry.
I'm scared. I'm
There's
sorry.
poop right there.
Dude, I want to get out of here, man. Looks like he sat down. Holy.
Sat down. Look at this.
There is hair everywhere.
No.
Look, I don't know if the camera can pick it up. Hold on. Hold on. Can you guys see the hair? It's long hair, dude.
I don't know. This looks like game hair, though.
Yeah? Well, what steps in... What kind of game?
Dude, I don't know.
Let's go. Seriously, I'm ready to get out of here.
Well, now I'm confused. These look like animal tracks. That's poop. Where the heck did these tracks...
He's not up in the tree, is he?
I'm confused now. Look at this. We just came into a domain where the tracks end.
The tracks end, but...
That is honestly... Look at this.
But look! What is this hair from?
It could have been laying down.
What the hell
is this piss? Did he pee?
I don't know.
Look at this.
I don't know.
Look how long this hair is. Oh, they
stuck. Let's see. Show the camera.
I don't know. From what I've seen, dude, their hair is really thin.
What are you talking about? It's like a big monkey. Whatever it was, it sat right here and shedded.
There's a lot of hair here. But here's the problem. You got all those footprints that are huge. Now look.
They're still going.
Animal trails.
No, those prints are still going.
Yeah, but look at the print. That's a hoof.
Okay, so I don't know. I have no idea.
Where did that go from? Went up to right there.
I don't know.
Back, but what are the deep trails? Look at this. Look, it snowed last night. It snowed. Now look at this. It's kind of buried.
Right. I don't know, but whatever it was took a chill right here. There's a lot of broken trees in between all these. Huge 5-foot steps between each step, 1 foot in front of the other, as you saw in the film. Sorry, it's cold out here, but this isn't a hoax. We don't care to do those kind of things. This is just real stuff that we discovered this last night, and we decided we were going to come up here and check this out.
Right there, look. Look right there.
Look, there's another step.
Right there. Now look right here.
There's more hair. What the hell? Look, there's hair everywhere right here. Okay, what?
That's a skid.
Okay.
Look.
These steps must have been from at least a few days ago. We're thinking around Sunday.
5-foot gap.
5-foot gaps between
Look,
steps.
Here's the hoofs I was telling you about.
Okay, there's the hoofs from the animal, but here's these steps.
I don't know if that's one or what.
Those steps lead over there. They're going up the mountain. Whatever it was went up that hill. I don't know, dude. Let's go, though. We're going to get out of here.
The sprint's going that way.
We're losing light. Let's go.
Hold on. Whatever it was, look over this. Look at this.
There's more hair.
Where?
Should we take some of that hair? What is it?
Hair, but look at the tiny hairs. Look at the tiny hairs on that shit.
Does it stink? I heard he stinks.
I can't tell.
Alright, well we're gonna get out. Let's go.
I am kind of, look at this. Look at that.
Look at that. I know, let's see. It looks like it sat in that tree right there. Let me see that.
Look at the broken branches. Look.
Holy shiesta. Look at this tree it like tore down.
There is more hair right here.
It looks like it kind of just sat around. There's more hair right here. There's hair on the snow. I don't know.
There's the track, animal tracks.
Come on, dude, let's go.
Track.
But as you can see, folks, we're in the middle of the woods. I mean, way up in the mountains, there's like no one up here.
Ryan, look. Look at the camera. Look, there's that one. Animal tracks go right there.
Okay.
There's more that go right here. There's something else. There's the animal tracks, the bigger tracks.
Whatever it was, it strolled around.
Look at that right there. Now, I don't know what does that, but...
Holy crap. Look, it split again.
Oh, that hurt.
Look right there. It did another slide.
I don't know, dude.
There's a hair on the slide, too.
Yeah, but... It's like a hoof. See that? That looks like a hoof. I don't know.
Yeah, some of the marks are. I can see deer prints, but what are these huge footprints?
I don't know. Oh, yeah, look. No. Okay. Here's what it's called. Here's the hoof. This is perfect right here. Look, I can tell that's a hoof. Okay, what steps down right here?
It's like
what steps down right here?
Exactly. It's like he was chasing something. Look at that. Even clear through those trees. Oh hell no.
Steps down right here. Here's more poop. Oh, these are deep. That's whatever it is. That's a deer. No, I don't know. No, that's what it is. That's a deer. That's a deer. Who knows what that is?
Come over
That's
here
a deer.
Take a chill in the tree again.
Look at this. Whatever it was, the foot slid. Just like a human would.
What did it do? Make a nest right there?
I don't know, dude. Look at this.
Right there. What's up with that?
I don't know. I'm breaking. Who would walk through this? Seriously.
Not a human. Let's get out of here. Come on.
Yeah, by the time that sun goes down, it's going to be dark. Gosh, I want to know where these go. If we walk a little farther, we'll break out on the river again.
Let's just go. We got to go back and get our poles. Where are they?
Way back there.
I'm getting out of here, man. It's getting dark. Look, there's hair everywhere here. We don't know what the hell this is, but I'm getting out of here. I'll record in a minute. Alright. We found these other tracks around the same area, but
it's about 20 feet away from the other ones.
Just want to show you the difference between why we know it's not an animal like an elk or a deer, because they have 4 legs, and this can kind of show you how they would walk.
That's obviously a deer.
You can see that they've walked up in through there and stuff.
But the tracks aren't huge.
Pretty obvious. I mean,
look, you can see right here. Look,
you can see where all 4 legs clocked that snow.
Yeah, they kicked that.
And then it goes up in there. I'm kind of stuck between a tree right here, so I don't want to go in there. But just kind of show you from what we were, the footage prior to this and then to that. You know, that's what makes it so much different. Just thought we would record that. The steps that we found today came from that mountain over there, down the road, jumped a barbed wire fence into private property. Huge 5-foot gaps between each step, 1 foot in front of the other. They came around this property in some different directions. They obviously came, we kind of followed it, they came across this river, and then we found the steps going up into the snow right here, and that's where we kind of followed it into there. So we don't really know what it is. We're just as clueless as anyone else. If anyone you know, has any idea maybe what that is, it's hard to just say it's an animal, an elk or a deer, because they have 4 legs, and these are 1 huge steps in front of the other. Yeah, just 1 step to the next step.
5-foot gaps.
5-foot gaps over trees that animals couldn't step over. Just unbelievable. We got some hair samples. We don't know what we got here, but we're just up here doing some fishing, and we discovered these steps. And this is South Fort, Utah. So it's our first time ever, you know, we've heard of Bigfoot being here, but we've never actually saw anything. The snow is the only reason that we actually noticed this stuff. There's another hair right there leading on to where whatever it was came up onto this hillside and went through those trees.
You know, we did check the branches for here, though.
You know, a lot of broken branches. You know, make it out to what you think it is. You know, we don't know either. You know, just out having a good time. Thought we would record some weird stuff. But if we see anything else while we're up here, we'll record it.
I don't know, man.
My brother Zach. Alright. See ya.